Hi everyone, and welcome back to TechBites. Now, plagiarism is something that we've all probably had to deal with at some point in our lives. Maybe your classroom submitted some of your work as their own, or maybe it's flipped and you're the one who stole someone else's work. Naughty.
I'm afraid some of you may have relaxed too much and didn't actually write your own papers. In fact, I believe a certain few of you took almost everything right off the internet. Damn.
Regardless of the specifics, that's just a bad situation overall. Whenever plagiarism is involved, it always becomes so much more complicated. Suddenly, there's a whole lot of information tracing to be done, a ton of boring back and forth communication, you get the gist. But what if there was a surefire way to guarantee that a piece of work was authentic? Wouldn't that save everyone so much trouble and time? I'm your host, LEICA, and today we'll be taking a look at why authenticity is gradually becoming a big issue in the modern world. In 2023, we've seen the development of some pretty powerful creative tools, especially with the rise of generative AI like ChatGPT or Midjourney. It's suddenly become a breeze to create decent quality content. But with a sudden breakout of these AIs, it calls into question the authenticity of one's work. For example, what if you found out your favorite artist actually just generates all of their art from some AI? You would probably feel cheated. The same goes for artists that don't have many opportunities because AI art is constantly in the spotlight. However, how do we enforce rules onto something like this? It's not like each individual can be monitored to not claim AI-generated content as their own. Sure, the community could rise up against AI art, but that doesn't make a big difference either, since people will just keep posting what they like. To effectively combat an issue on this large scale, Adobe has formed the Content Authenticity Initiative, CAI. The CAI is a community of companies and non-profit organizations that promotes methods of demonstrating content authenticity. Having enticed a large number of companies such as NVIDIA, Canon, and BBC, the CAI is on track to have a big impact on the digital content industry. There are 5 core elements that make up the CAI. 1. Transparent attribution. Creators should be able to easily attach attribution data to the content they make that explains crucial details about the content's origins. 2. Detecting manipulation. Detecting and noting down all alterations that have been made to a specific piece of content so that viewers aren't deceived. 3. Open standard. Attribution data should be in an open format that allows any creator on any platform to use. 4. User control. Creators should be able to control the amount and content of attribution data that they include with their content. 5. Collaboration. The CAI requires the collaboration of all of its many stakeholders to ensure authenticity. Now, while this all sounds very promising, how exactly do they intend to achieve total proof of authenticity across so many platforms? Enter Adobe Content Credentials. Quoted from Adobe themselves, content credentials are a new kind of tamper-evident metadata that can be applied to your assets at export or download. They increase transparency around the origins and history of the assets they are applied to. Content credentials are like nutrition labels for content creators. They provide essential information on creators and tools used to create their content. Now that Adobe has bought into the wave of generative AI with Adobe Firefly, it's more important than ever for them to release tools that allow creators to justify the authenticity of their content. Adobe has stated that any content created with the use of Adobe Firefly's myriad of features will automatically have content credentials attached to it. Doing so makes it transparent that creators are using generative AI to fuel their content creation. On the surface, it looks like the CAI would only really apply to digitally produced content. But in reality, its reach extends far beyond that. LEICA, a camera company renowned for its carefully crafted high-quality cameras, has joined hands with the CAI to bring content credentials into the world of photography. They recently released the LEICA M11P, one of the most groundbreaking cameras of all time. The LEICA M11P is specifically designed so that upon ticking an option in the settings menu, users can automatically sign each image taken with a content credential label, displaying the camera model, manufacturer, and other attributes. With the addition of this camera into the photography world, photographers will no longer have to worry about misuse or alteration of their photos. This model also contains state-of-the-art components, including a 60 megapixel full-frame sensor, 256GB internal SSD, Leica's legacy color science, and an extremely tough exterior. This camera is a great example of how we are adapting to new trends within the technology industry, though it can be a bit pricey, as high as 70,000 Hong Kong dollars. Now, the speed at which the technology industry is evolving is truly amazing. With the rapid pace of growth, it's only fitting that we take the necessary preventive measures to stop our own tech from outgrowing us. Initiatives and groups like the CAI are some of the main reasons we're able to keep up with this explosive growth. Now, as an individual, you may feel that spending so much effort on verifying authenticity might be overkill, but who knows? One day, you might yourself be in need of content credentials as well. If you're looking for the hottest tech news, you've come to the right place. TechBites is the one-stop shop for the best and most recent developments in the tech industry. Make sure you stay tuned for more. I'm your host, Lex Sikorsky, and I'll see you at the next one.